Good evening, and welcome to the Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting for the City of Fayetteville, Tennessee. This is January the 14th, 2025. I will begin the meeting we have a few department heads, one alderman out. The young lady that was going to say the pledge tonight is out with the flu, so everyone please be careful out there. It is spreading like wildfire. So. But we'll begin with our pledge from Brother Tim Smith, from the pastor of the Fayetteville Cumberland Presbyterian Church. And before the prayer, we're going to have a moment of silence for the former president, Jimmy Carter.
All right.
Thank you.
Let us pray. Gracious God, we thank you for allowing us to be able to come together tonight to do the business of our community. We are thankful that we have the right to self-government and that we are able to have the free exercise of that. We ask that you would give wisdom and guidance to these individuals that are giving of their time as public servants. And we appreciate their time and commitment to the work of our city and community. We ask that you would guide the deliberations here this night and may all go well. And when it is all completed, may we say the people's business has been done. In the name of Christ we pray. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Board, you have been provided with an agenda for tonight's meeting. Are there any additions or deletions? Hearing none, that agenda will stand. Next, we have the minutes for the public hearing minutes that was held December the 10th, 2024. Are there any corrections on those minutes? If not, those minutes will stand as presented. Also, the minutes for the regular meeting, December the 10th, 2024. Any corrections for those minutes? Hearing none, those minutes will stand as presented. No one signed up for public comments today, so we'll move directly into our reports tonight. First, we have with us the President, Mary Beth Seals from Huntsville Hospital Lincoln Health Systems. Ms. Seals, if you'll come forward.
Hey, good evening and Happy New Year. I'm a little late in my report. I should have been here in December, so forgive me for missing, and thank you for letting me reschedule. So just some updates I want to give to the group this evening, and I want to say that I continue to be very happy of our health system and how I feel like it's progressing. I'm partial, but I should be, and I'm thankful for all the wonderful employees that we have, and all our directors and everyone that's making it successful, and I believe that's our community and the patients that we're serving that do that too. I say that that's what sets us apart, and that's our patients and our community. That's what makes us so special here. I'm happy to say that we stand at 445 employees across our system today. I'm really proud of that number. I think when I first started in coming to give you updates, we had somewhere around 100 openings in the health system. And as you can imagine, that was very scary to me to think that we had that many openings. That included clinical and non-clinical openings, but now we stand around 34 openings system-wide, so that's great. That includes Donaldson, that includes EMS, the hospital, so I think you should be very proud of that. Our team's done a really good job, and again, when I come and speak to you, I say this every single time. I'll never not say it. I may come and deliver the message, but there are so many wonderful people that are out there tonight providing care that don't get the credit they deserve, so I hope that you'll help me do that. I want to tell you about some great things we did just in the last 6 months since I saw you. So we celebrated 1 year bringing back our chaplain program to the health system. And that was a program that was started a long time ago, but it just kind of faded out. So there are about six or seven women and men who are providing chaplain services to the patients in the community. I'm really proud of that. They volunteer their time. They rotate about a month each, providing services. That's 24/7. So if a patient comes into the hospital or anywhere in our system, quite frankly, and they feel like they need those services, we can page them and have them come over. They have come to know our nurses and our physicians. You may see them eating in our courtyard cafe. It's been great, and I'm really happy for that. Another fun plug I want to give is that I'm really proud of the relationship we've developed in the community with everyone, quite frankly, but especially with people like police, fire, EMA. The Courtyard Cafe has been a big hit, and I think everybody would agree with me. I was teasing when I gave my update to the county in December that we'd really like to make a plug that we want to be voted best breakfast or best lunch in the Oak Valley Times this year because it's been a great place for fellowship, and we see so many of you all coming and hanging out with us. I'm teasing Davey back there. We see their crew coming out, and it's really been a great place for people to come back and see that, not just for patient care, but people are coming and spending time together, and I've really enjoyed getting to see that. So thank you for coming by and visiting. I also want to talk about how active we've been in the community. So remember that we're still participating in things like One Day of Hope. Back in the summer, we did a really great thing where we rented out the Glegorn Community Center, and we service people that are otherwise not coming to the hospital, and we had a big community health fair. So we gave flu shots, we signed people up on the spot to get their mammograms, and just talked to people in the community about, why are you not coming to the hospital? How can we help you? What are the barriers there? Are you afraid to come? It was a very successful day. We didn't have as many people as we would have liked to have had, but I think if we keep going out and doing these things, people will continue to use us and feel better about it. So that's something we'll continue to do on an annual basis. We had a great pickleball tournament since I've seen you last, so people continue to love the Patrick, and I'm amazed to see, how many visits that we're getting on a daily and a monthly basis. So the foundation hosted a great pickleball tournament, and we had some great teams that came out, and a lot of good fun fellowship there as well. We continue to work with the schools to work to get your students and your children into the healthcare field if that's what they otherwise choose. I don't want for it ever to be said that there was a barrier. We're proud of healthcare. It's something that's always going to be needed, and we should not let it be a barrier. So I'm so happy that you should always see children, high school kids, college students in the facility working and getting to job shadow and that sort of thing. I'm most proud that I hope you heard we are piloting our third EMS station right now in the Taft community. So since in the last 3 years, since we've almost made it 3 years since we've been affiliated with Huntsville Hospital Health System, we had our busiest our record month of EMS runs. So this is not maybe a lucky number here that I'm going to give, but we did 666 EMS runs last month. Unbelievable. And right now, some of our busiest, our call volume is coming out of the Taft, Blanche, Ardmore area. It's unbelievable. So we're piloting a station right now in conjunction with the volunteer fire department there, EMA, the county mayor. They've been gracious to let us do that. And it's amazing that our response time was 30 minutes, and we're trying to get that down to 15 or less. We've been very successful in that. So we'll let you know. The last time we opened a station was in 2009. So we're really trying to get out and help the community. I have a dream of having, a station in every community here in this town. So we'll let you know how we're progressing there, but more to come. That was very exciting to be able to open a third station. Richard Wright has been with Lincoln Medical Center EMS for 50 years now and will retire in July. So for him to be able to stand with me and see a third station open was very exciting. I'll leave you on the note that we also recruited 2 physicians in the last 6 months since I've seen you, and that was we brought back our orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Leroy Greganius. You may remember him. He has joined TOC, which is now owned by Huntsville Hospital, and that's been great. And Dr. Bonnie Lee, a new general surgeon who is just off and running, and she replaced Dr. David Crump, who has been in the community a long time. So So, if you're not growing, what are you doing? And so we want to grow this health system and make it everything it can be for the community. I have said many times before, we will still make mistakes. We want to always get it right, but we're going to try to do that for you each time that we can, and we thank you for your support.
Any questions? Thank you, Mary Beth.
Thank you.
Next, we have CEO Britt Dye from Fayetteville Public Utilities.
Thank you, Mayor. First thing I'd like to cover, as you know, the cold weather that we had this past weekend, we had less than a handful of calls from Thursday all the way through yesterday. So that says a lot for our system, and that's on all utilities. That's water. I'm pretty sure we probably got some leaks. We just haven't found them yet. But anyhow, next week's going to bring on a whole new story, getting down to single digits. And we don't know what to expect, but we are prepared and ready to have additional load pickup. So we hope everything works just as well as it did this past 4 or 5 days. The report I have tonight is the line crew that was assisting in Kentucky. They're back home. I brought them in last Thursday, not knowing what was going to happen over the weekend. They could have used them another day or two, but we got most of the majority of the lights on up there to help that group. They were very proud to be able to do that. Tree trimmers are working in the Park City, Petersburg area. We got a lot of trees that need to be cut, and you could tell by the outages that have slimmed down a little bit. It's due to the aggressive tree trimming that we've been able to do. The water, we've had some water and sewer services installed. We had 4 leaks repaired. Gas, we finished up our annual maintenance of the regulator stations. We had 9 new applications for gas services. Telecom, right now we're in the eastern part of the county. We includes 399 miles of line that we've installed. 2,743 homes have been passed, and 686 of those homes have been hooked up for fiber. We are working on the design for the city. The city was the first part that we built the old cable infrastructure with the coax cable. We're working on that design to get all that replaced for a fiber upgrade and get everybody that's got fiber to the home. We had a planned outage for internet last week. It didn't happen because the third party that we're dependent on did not come through the service part that they're supposed to do. So we will be planning that outage again for those customers. It's an upgrade to get additional bandwidth because we got more customers coming on, and so it's several pieces of equipment that we have to get changed. Right now, the kilowatt hours bill, this is pretty interesting when you look at the numbers. December of 2024, there was 36,998,163 kilowatt hours billed. November of 24, we billed 32,180,827 kilowatt hours, but last December in 23, we billed 34,948,364. So the temperatures have changed a little bit from year to year. So on the gas side, December of 24, we had 84,457. November of 24, 53,953. In December of last year, we had 83,194 all decatherms. And Mr. Kennan can tell you, we covered a little bit of this in our board meeting this past month about how we need to be selling some gas. Well, you know the temperatures, we're selling a little bit of gas, and next week we'll sell a little bit more gas. But it's always like you're catching up on the gas side, because through the summer, you don't sell no gas. Through the winter, you hope you break even.
I'm just glad I got gas.
But as well with that, Mayor, I got something I'd like to bring up for a minute. And at the last work session, it was mentioned that something illegal might have occurred in the appointment process of the FPU board. And it showed me concern, because the alderman's got concern, I had concern. And so it was a big concern to the management team at FPU. And I reached out to our attorney to research all the laws and all that. And I asked him to consult with Mr. Hill, the city attorney, and I'm assuming that there will be an opinion or something on the report from where the work session was last week, since it was a public meeting of the findings, what it is, what it's not, what it's supposed to be, those kinds of things, I hope.
I just think it's pretty dangerous what happened the other night, having an alderman come up with his own legal opinion. We've got counsel here and Mr. Hill to go to, and I hope in the future none of us do that without checking with him. I think a lot of things were said that were wrong, and you know, that looks bad on the whole board. So I want to hear the opinion from Mr. Hill on those comments at some point here tonight as well. I don't know if we want to do that now or when appointments are brought up, but I'd like to know your findings on what was said the other night as well.
I did talk to our MTS representative, and he confirmed what I thought to be the case was that the holdover appointees are supposed to be serving until they're replaced or renewed. So, and he referenced a Tennessee constitutional provision as the basis for that. And I did speak to Mr. Bobo, the FPU attorney, contacted me, and he had yet another authority, I think, that he was relying on to come up with the same conclusion. So
So no illegal operation like was hinted at the other night.
I think we followed the proper procedure by having the holdovers continue to serve on, not only at the FPU board, but other boards that we've done the same thing with.
And that's all I had, Mayor.
Okay.
Unless you got questions.
Any questions? No questions at this time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll now go into our standing committee reports. First, we have Chief David Bergman with Fire Department.
Thank you, Mayor. For the month of December, the fire department had 156 calls for service. This included 142 EMS calls, 3 fire calls, 3 hazardous condition calls, 6 fire alarms, and 1 good intent with 6 false alarms. And that is my report.
Thank you, sir. Giving the police department, Chief Kenny Jennings is out with the flu. We'll defer to City Administrator.
Thank you, Mayor. For the police department's report, there were 96 reportable incidents, and they included 42 arrests, 39 traffic crashes, 66 traffic citations, and then he has 984 police activities, events, and in the criminal investigation division, he says that there were 485 cases with an additional 12 cases open, 6 cases closed, 2 arrests, and 2 grand jury. And that concludes the police report.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor, if I could, I'd like to commend the fire department and the police department. They worked an incident the past couple of days. You couldn't have asked for better teamwork from both sides. There was just so much going on at one point in time, and the fire department was communicating well with the police department. I know EMS was communicating well with fire and police because it was just a busy situation, and that was the situation on Bright Avenue. But you can't ask for better teamwork in both departments. Good job, Chief Burton, and good job, Chief Jennings.
Thank you. Also, our Finance Department Director, Loretta Garner, is out, and we'll defer to City Administrator.
Okay. Good evening again.
Good evening.
Well, the Finance Department, we do have Mrs. Gardner wanted to report that we are currently accepting qualifications for our auditing service, and we're expecting to bring that to the February Finance as well as work session and then to the board in the month of February. As far as her numbers, she said local sales tax for the month of November was $327,217, and that was in the year before was $306,108, which represented a 6% increase from last year. As far as the state shared sales tax, it was $76,407 this year. Last year at the same time, it was $69,164, which she says represent a 10.5% increase. As far as our occupancy tax, it represented $12,758 in the month of November, and last year this time it was $13,247, which was a 3.7 decrease. And that concludes the finance report.
Thank you. Moving now to the Recreation Department, Director Nathan Browning.
Thank you, Mayor. Our Kids Park update is thanks to the work of Public Works for keeping our roads nice and clean over the snow. I also want to thank them for the use of some of their equipment to help us put down the mulch so we could have our park opened as of today. Also, our spring sports registration is open and doing well. Volleyball and baseball will start in March, along with softball following at the end of April and beginning of May. And also our dance, our Kids Invite Someone Special Valentine's Dance will be February the 8th from 6 to 8. Our registration is looking good and hope everyone comes out for that. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Moving now to Public Works Department, Director Jack Williams.
Thank you, Mayor. So for the month of December, the street department picked up 89 tons of brush and household waste. Sanitation department picked up 253 tons of city waste. Also, I'd like to recognize the street department guys in the city garage for doing a great job during this winter storm. The guys did a great job of getting our streets clean, keeping them safe. I want to commend them. They put in an 11-hour day on Friday to work it, also some time on Saturday. Also, during this winter event, I want to thank FPU as well. They did a great job. Fire department was on call. They were ready to go. 911 center was on call, on tap, and also the police department. So every department did a great job handling this event. I want to commend everybody. And also just want to remind everybody we will recognize Martin Luther King Day on January 20th. Our Department of Public Works will be off, so we will start the garbage route by 1 day backwards. So, and that's my report.
Thank you. Planning and Codes Department, Director Christy Gentry.
Thank you, Mayor. 7 permits were issued in December. The total project valuation was $239,402. The total permit fees were $864. We ended 2024 issuing 172 permits throughout that year. The total project valuation was $9,317,678. The fees totaled $28,739. 25 property maintenance violations were issued in December. I want to congratulate Ms. Jill Smith on being promoted to building inspector. The property maintenance position will be advertised in the near future, so if you're interested in becoming a part of the Planning and Codes team, be on the lookout for that advertisement. And the Planning Commission meetings will resume this month on January the 28th. And that's my report.
Thank you. Now moving to the City Administrator's report. Kevin Owens.
Thank you again, Mayor. As far as the city administrator report, I do want to join the Public Works Director in commending the Public Works crew. Not only the Public Works, but we had police, fire, we had everybody. We had a team, even administration. But exceptionally, the Public Works, Mr. Williams told me to be there at 3 o'clock. I was going to feed them breakfast. Everybody was there, ready and go by the time I got breakfast there. So I do want to commend them for the long day that they had on Friday and the work that they did. Also on Monday, which is Mr. Williams' birthday as well, we will be observing the Martin Luther King Jr. Day of Service, and there will be a march from Mount Zion to the municipal building. The municipal building will hold a program at 11 o'clock a.m. and we do want the public to come out for this. Third event, we had the sidewalk meeting today. We're looking at closing the current project. We're looking at doing the final walkthrough and some contractual stuff that we're trying to do. And the next meeting will be February 11th. And at that time, we will have more details about the closeout. We're asking all the board members to give their reviews of the current food truck ordinance back to me by Wednesday. I think that our planning director and our attorney and myself have a meeting for Thursday to review any requests of changes that you all may have. So please get that to us by this time tomorrow. And finally, we're working on practices and plans for the fleet management mid-year audit presentation, ADA refresher, and strategic planning. We're planning on working on all of these factors through the remainder of the month and hopefully have reports to you by February. And unless there's any questions, that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you. There's no unfinished business on our agenda, so we're moving directly into the new business. Your first item of order is ordinance 2025-01. This is a budget amendment number 6 for the city. Details are provided on your iPads. Are there any questions? Do I have a motion to accept this ordinance, pass this ordinance 2025-01?
Move to approve ordinance 2025-01.
I have a motion by Alderman Small, second.
Second.
Second by Alderman Keenan. Any further discussion? Debbie, call the vote, please.
Mr. Alder?
Aye.
Mr. Faulkner?
Aye.
Mr. Keenan?
Aye.
Mr. Painter?
Aye.
Ms. Small?
Aye.
That motion passes. Item B, this is a cooperative purchasing organization that we are joining and have been a member of this Omnia. This co-op, it looks for things like the garage would use, things that's used for automobiles, vehicles, different type things like that, machinery for the city. Whereas we also have a co-op purchasing agreement with Sourcewell, which is bigger items like fire trucks and garbage trucks and things like that. We also go by the city, by the state purchasing agreement too. So this just gives us another opportunity to buy at a lesser rate. Do I have a motion to accept this Omnia partnership?
Move to approve.
Motion by Alderman Painter, second.
Second.
Second by Alderman Small. Any discussion? Debbie, call the vote.
Mr. Faulkner?
Aye.
Mr. Keenan?
Aye.
Mr. Painter?
Aye.
Ms. Small?
Aye.
Mr. Alder?
Aye.
That motion passes. Item C, this is the cost agreement to purchase, this is between Fayetteville, Lincoln County, this is, and to the Warrior exhibit. This is to purchase a total of 63 flags for each entity for a total of 126 flags. This is to be, purchase is to be made in January of 25. This way it will give it adequate time for the flags to get here, in time to get them out for Memorial Day. Usually once they put them out, they stay up from Memorial Day to Veterans Day. So the total cost on this, I understand, is $945. Do I have a motion to sign this agreement?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Alderman Painter, second.
Second.
Second by Alderman Keenan. Any discussions or questions?
Just one question, that's $945 each for city and county?
Yes.
Correct. No further questions. Debbie, we call the vote.
Mr. Keenan?
Aye.
Mr. Painter?
Aye.
Ms. Small?
Aye.
Mr. Alder?
Aye.
Mr. Faulkner?
Aye.
That motion passes. Item D, this is an agreement. Something there. This is an agreement with the, between the Board of Public Utilities and the City of Fayetteville with the town of Petersburg. This is to provide service for their water. We have gone back and forth with this agreement. I think we've narrowed it down closer. Maybe we can get all parties to sign off on this agreement. The comptroller, Tennessee State Comptroller, came in and said that Petersburg just did not have the funds to man their own water system. So we are partnering with them. And I believe, Mr. Dye, there's a 6-month trial period in this agreement. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, that was we have requested a consultation period to see what all that has been up there, and some of the things that we already thought was happening. I know for sure we already found one tap that didn't even have a meter on it, and that's what I'm afraid is gonna be happening. So that's the reason we wanted the consultation period, just so we can maybe get an idea of what's out there. So.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a motion to approve this agreement?
Make a motion to approve the agreement to operate the, assume Town of Petersburg's,
Okay.
Second.
So I have a motion by Alderman Keenan, a second by Alderman Alder. Any discussions, any questions? Did we call the vote?
Mr. Keenan.
Aye.
Mr. Painter.
Aye.
Ms. Small.
Aye.
Mr. Alder.
Aye.
Mr. Faulkner.
Aye.
That motion carries. The next item is item E. It's approval to apply for a new credit card for the City of Fayetteville. We had a credit card for the city and all the department heads, and there were some complications with a couple of the cards got hacked and trying to get all of that sorted out. So we've decided to go with a new bank or credit card system, not really a bank, a credit card account. We will have a total of 10 cards. Each card will have a limit of $5,000 for city use only. These will go to the department heads. There are sufficient controls to help prevent abuse, and includes, but are not limited to, the approval of the purchase by the person responsible for the individual card, the consolidated building and approval by the city administrator or the city mayor. The normal checking processing procedures will be followed also. This needs to be voted on in our minutes, and it will be presented with the application. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion made by Alderman Small. Do I have a second?
Second.
A second by Alderman Alder. Any discussion?
I'd just like to ask, do we have the name of the company yet?
So it will be credited out First Bank of Arkansas, so that's the bank we're using.
You said First Bank of Arkansas?
Yes, sir.
Any other discussion?
That's if it's approved.
If it's approved.
Right.
Yes,
It's not.
that's what we're working with, yes.
No one handles credit cards local. It all goes out to it's sourced out to a credit card service center. So that's why we're using Arkansas, none are local, so. Debbie, call the vote, please.
Mr. Painter.
Aye.
Ms. Small.
Aye.
Mr. Alder.
Aye.
Mr. Faulkner.
Aye.
Mr. Keenan.
That motion carries. Moving now to item F. This is for, I am recommending Dan Holt to sit on the Fayetteville Lincoln County Airport Authority. You have been given a description or a brief bio on Mr. Holt. He has previously served on the airport board and is coming back. Mr. Keenan previously served on that board, but after his election, he stepped down. And so do I have a motion to accept Dan Holt as recommendation for the airport authority?
So moved.
I have
I'll second that.
motion by Alderman Painter, second by Alderman Keenan. Any discussion? Debbie, call the vote.
Ms. Small.
Aye.
Mr. Alder.
Aye.
Mr. Faulkner.
Aye.
Mr. Keenan.
Aye.
Mr. Painter.
Aye.
That motion carries. Item G, this is a recommendation that came from myself. I do want to read that in the charter, it does state that it is the duty of the mayor to make appointments to boards and commissions. Some of those appointments will have board approval, some of those do not. So we are voting on my recommendations tonight of Veronica King to the Fayetteville Board of Public Utilities. She will be taking the seat of Debbie Woodward, which that position expired June the 30th, 2023. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Have a motion by Alderman Faulkner. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Keenan. Any discussion?
Madam Mayor, since we don't have everybody on the board here to discuss and talk about this, could it be a possibility that we can move this to next month, since Vice Mayor Bradford's not here to talk on it?
Mr. Hill?
You could make a motion and we could vote on whether you want to do that or not.
I'll withdraw my motion then. Does that bring us back to?
Well, he can make a secondary
Okay.
motion to postpone it till
Okay.
next month, and if the board approves that, that would affect.
Okay.
Okay, then that's the
We
motion
really
I'll
do,
make.
we
I'll make
need,
a-
actually need the motion first to to even reach the point. of
Got it.
postponement.
Okay, makes sense.
So I'd like to make the motion that we can postpone this till next month until we have all members on the board to pass this or to not pass it.
Second that motion.
So I have a motion, I have a second. Any discussion?
Is the motion to do all the rest of the FPU board? Or is the
Yes,
motion-
it would be.
Do we need
Until
to
he
do
is-
those
need to
individually
amend those?
or,
I think would
We have
probably
three.
be better to do those individually,
okay?
just in case.
Okay, so I have a motion, I have a second. Debbie, we call the vote?
Mr. Alder?
Aye.
Mr. Faulkner?
Aye.
Mr. Keenan?
Aye.
Mr. Painter?
Aye.
Ms. Small?
Aye.
That motion carries. Item H, this is also a recommendation by myself to recommend Rusty Pittenger for the Fayetteville Utilities Board. This would be replacing the seat of Russ Dixon. His term expired June the 30th, 2024. Do I have a motion?
I motion that we, you want to do it again?
Yeah,
And then
well,
Let's get a
that we-
motion in a second, and then if
Oh,
Alderman
okay.
Painter wants to make a motion to postpone it for a month.
If no
we'll do that.
motions happen, does it,
Well,
what
then
is,
it would fail without a motion.
okay, then I so moved.
So I have a motion, I have a second.
I have a motion to move it to next month for the rest of us all to be here to make the decision.
I'll second that motion.
So I have a motion and a second to move this item to next month's agenda. Any discussion? Debbie, we call the vote.
Mr. Faulkner?
Aye.
Mr. Keenan?
Aye.
Mr. Painter?
Aye.
Ms. Small?
No.
Mr. Alder?
Aye.
That motion carries. Item I, this is also a recommendation for appointment to Eddie Plunkett to the Fayetteville Public Utilities Board. This would be taking the seat of Paul Richardson. Mr. Richardson's term expired June the 30th, 2023. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Have a motion first by Alderman Faulkner, second by Alderman Keenan.
And I'd like to make the
Discussion.
motion, if we can, move this to next month for discussion when we're all on the board to be able to talk about it.
I'll second that motion.
So I have a motion and a second to move this to next month's business. Any discussion on that? Debbie, call the vote.
Mr. Keenan?
Aye.
Mr. Painter?
Aye.
Ms. Small?
Aye.
Mr. Alder?
Aye.
Mr. Faulkner?
Aye.
That motion carries. Now moving to item J. This is the recommendation for appointment of Kayla Hampton Gentry to the Board of Zoning Appeals.
So moved.
That's a vacant seat, and that vacant seat expired November of 2023.
I know, right?
I have a motion by Alderman Faulkner and a second by Alderman Keenan. Any discussion? Debbie, you call the vote, please.
Mr. Keenan? Aye. Mr. Painter?
Aye.
Ms. Small?
Aye.
Mr. Alder?
Aye.
Mr. Faulkner?
Aye.
That motion carries. That moves us now to, we've got several items on here for the Fayetteville City School. This is pertaining to the Dome project. We have been presented further information from Superintendent Eric Jones, who's here with us tonight. It's 8 items and requests for payment. So we'll take those individually. Item K is for invoice number 18R in the amount of $19,680. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second. So sorry.
I have a motion by Alderman Small, second Alderman Painter. Any discussion? Debbie, you call the vote.
Mr. Painter?
Aye.
Ms. Small?
Aye.
Mr. Alder?
Aye.
Mr. Faulkner?
Aye.
Mr. Keenan?
Aye.
That motion carries. Item L, this is a authorization for payment, invoice number 19R, in the amount of $17,958. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Alderman Small, second by Alderman Alder. Any discussion? Debbie, you call the vote.
Ms. Small?
Aye.
Mr. Alder?
Aye.
Mr. Faulkner?
Aye.
Mr. Keenan?
Aye.
Mr. Painter?
Aye.
That motion carries. Item M, this is a request for payment on invoice number 20R, $18,204. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion Alderman Small, second.
Second.
Second Alderman Faulkner. Any discussion? Debbie, call the vote.
Mr. Alder?
Aye.
Mr. Faulkner?
Aye.
Mr. Keenan?
Aye.
Mr. Painter?
Aye.
Ms. Small?
Aye.
That motion carries. Item N, this is for the approval of invoice number 21-R in the amount of $6,322.50. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
So I have a motion by Alderman Small, second Alderman Painter. Is any discussion on this item? Debbie, call the vote, please.
Mr. Faulkner?
Aye.
Mr. Keenan?
Aye.
Mr. Painter?
Aye.
Ms. Small?
Aye.
Mr. Alder?
Aye.
That motion carries. Moving to item O, this is also an invoice number R23, in the amount of $9,840. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Alderman Small, second.
Second.
Second Alderman Alder. Any discussion? Debbie, call the vote.
Mr. Keenan?
Aye.
Mr. Painter?
Aye.
Ms. Small?
Aye.
Mr. Alder?
Aye.
Mr. Faulkner?
Aye.
That motion carries. Item P, this is for invoice number 24R. The amount is $11,316. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Alderman Small, second.
Second.
Second Alderman Painter. Any discussion? Debbie, call the vote, please.
Mr. Keenan?
Aye.
Mr. Painter?
Aye.
Ms. Small?
Aye.
Mr. Alder?
Aye.
Mr. Faulkner?
Aye.
That motion carries. Item Q, this is for invoice number R25 in the amount of $4,674. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Alderman Small, second.
Second.
Second Alderman Painter. Any discussion? Debbie, we call the vote.
Mr. Painter?
Aye.
Ms. Small?
Aye.
Mr. Alder?
Aye.
Mr. Faulkner?
Aye.
Mr. Keenan?
Aye.
That motion carries. That passes. Item R, this is for invoice number 26R in the amount of $5,412. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Have a motion by Alderman Painter, second.
Second.
Second Alderman Small. Any discussion?
One point of discussion. I was gonna save it to the last one. I'd like to make sure that since you're here, that we're encouraging our vendor to be a little more proactive with their billing so that we don't run into this same kind of situation. Absolutely. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Debbie, we call the vote, please.
Ms. Small?
Aye.
Mr. Alder?
Aye.
Mr. Faulkner?
Aye.
Mr. Keenan?
Aye.
Mr. Painter?
Aye.
Thank you. That passes. With no further business, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.